Good morning, students. This class we will discuss about slip gauges and angle gauge blocks. Slip gauges first developed by Johnson. So the slip gauges is also called as Johnson gauge blocks. This is that rectangular shaped blocks. Slip gauges are that universally accepted standard of length in industry. So if you want to take accurate dimensions, so if you want to known value, that time you have to prefer, you have to choose that slip gauges. It's also have to calibrate it of that instruments. In India, slip gauges are manufactured as with the guidance recommended by NPL, like National Physical Laboratory. So next we discuss grades of accuracy of slip gauges. So slip gauges, the various grades available. Depends that need and applications you have to choose what type of grade need for that particular conditions. Calibration grade, grade 00, grade 0, grade 1 and grade 2. So that accuracy will be decreasing from that top. So special grade and is used for that research purpose. The calibration grade, the research purpose and the calibrations of some other instruments that I had to prefer for that particular grade. So grade 00, the inspection gauge blocks are used for that highest precision work. So if you want to need that highest quality precision jobs you have to produce, that you have to prefer. Grade 0 inspection grade of slip gauges. Grade 1 precise work in tool rooms. Tool rooms are the mostly they are chosen that grade 1. Grade 2 workshop grade slip gauges, setting tools, cutters, checking dimensions roughly. That is so already I said earlier depends that need and applications. We have to choose what type of slip gauges they are needed. Next, we discuss that range is that combining the faces of slip gauges one over the other. So it will be help to increase that height of the slip gauges. Like suppose if you want to measure that angle of particular component, that time we have to need that h height of the slip gauges. That time we have to join together. So three or more combined slip gauges. So that time that arranging principles you have to use it. So here two blocks are twisted together under certain pressure. It will be found that due to molecular attraction and atmospheric pressure, they will adhere each other. So due to that molecular attraction, and due to that atmospheric pressure, that objects, the particular slip gauges are joined. So due to adhesion property of slip gauges, they will stick together. Because of so what is the reason behind how that stick degree of surface finish of measuring faces was very good. So we have to apply that further pressure that particular faces are joined. So what is that? Why we have to uh, did this types of process means to have to assemble several cage blocks. So one by one have to add it to have to know that height of that slip gauges. So it will to measure that unknown value. So next we discuss the manufacturing of slip gauges. Slip gauges are produced from high grade steel, hardened and stabilized by heat treatment process to give that high degree dimensional stability. So continuously have to use to give that right accurate value. So this time dimensional stability have to need. So and also to remove that internal stresses. So in this reason have to involve heat treatment process. Slip gauges can be made from tool steel, stainless steel and tungsten carbide. Faces is lapped truly flat by lapping process. This is that surface finishing process. Once that machining was over, then they have to involve the lapping process. Then only have to get that good surface finish of that particular slip gauge faces. So this is that dial indicator. So this it will be help to confirm whether that surface of slip gauges are equal or uneven. So determine whether the cages are the required size and their aggregate size compared with an appropriate size master in suitable comparator. So comparator is used to compare whether that cages is okay or not. Is never to give that dimensions of the particular slip cages. So have to check with that particular surface of the respective slip cages is okay. Otherwise, any variations, any deviations available during the process, it will be reflect in that indicator of that of particular dial gauge. Next, care of slip gauges. What are the precautions of how to use? These are that discussed. So, not in use, the slip gauges should be kept in their own positions. So, but they have to place in that own position, correct positions. So, before ringing the blocks, ensure the face is entirely clean. Once you have to started that joining the process, so that I have to check whether the faces are clean or not. Otherwise, I have to take in that cloth, and then you have to clean properly. Measuring faces should not be fingered. Check accuracy at appropriate intervals. So slip gauges levels also surface also have to check appropriate because you have to continually have to use it. Calibrations and need to angular measurement that they have to prefer. So this is that known. This is a standard value, standard dimensions. Because we have to take that reference from that slip gauges. So have to check that accuracy. Use minimum number of cages for combinations. So if you added one by one, that I have to choose the minimum number of combinations. Otherwise, sometimes they're well down, have to slip, have not get that expected measured right value of that component. Should be used in air conditioned rooms, free from dust, maintain the constant temperature. This is that important factors have to consider. Cages should not be run together a long time. Just you have to further have to approach it. Minimum pressure have to apply on that particular portions. That time you have to join. Cage blocks are calibrated to accurate 20 degrees Celsius and should be kept this temperature when taking measurements. So you have to maintain that temperature also. Have to monitor. So how you have to conduct that experiments with that particular temperature. What is that uses of slip gauges? Used for direct precise measurement where accuracy of a workpiece being measured is so when we need to the precise measurements that I have to use that slip gauges. Have to conjunction with the sine bar. So already said earlier. So sine bar only is not possible. Have to measure that angle of coming if you want some other accessories. So slip gauges is used to measure the angle of that workpiece. Cages used to setting a comparator to specific dimensions. So comparator is used to compare that value. That time have known value you have to need. So that time we have to prefer, we have to choose that slip gauges. To inspect that Vernier Calliper, Micrometer, this is the linear measuring instruments. You have to confirm, you have to uh, find out whether the Vernier Caliper or micrometers are okay. If any error is available is that you have to check with that strip gauges. What's the method of assembly? How to add it one by one? You have to follow that ranging principle, but how to add it, and also what are the methods of assembly? Produce an assembly of required dimensions. Start with the smallest increment. This is that have to add it with the other slip gauges. Have to check what is the smallest increment of slip gauges that are available. You have to choose it. Subtract this from that required dimension. Repeat this procedure until that assembly complete. So how much height you have to need? You have to add that slip gauges. You have to follow this procedure and have to join to it. Process will give that minimum number of cage blocks necessary to build up that given dimensions. This is that very important. So minimum number of cage blocks have to add it and have to conduct that experiments. Slip cages are available in standard sets in both metric and inch. In metric units, M45, M87, M12, M1112 pieces are available. So these are that various dimensions available in that M45 set slip gauges. This is that 1.001 mm 1.009, that steps 0.001, and 9 blocks is available. Here 1.01 to 1.09, steps 0.01, so 9 blocks. Here 1.1 to 1.19, step 0.1, 9 blocks available. Here 1 to 9 steps, 1 they are increased 9 blocks. Then 10 to 19 10 difference. So totally 45 slip gauges that are available in that particular box. So the same here, that M87 and M112 slip gauges set various dimensions. Slip gauges they are available. What are the advantages of slip gauges? So ranging is the phenomenon adhesion of two flat and smooth surfaces when they are brought into close contact with each other. So with that principle, with the adhesion and atmospheric pressure, that particular slip gauges are joined. So this is that big advantages. If that surfaces are not joined together, we are not able to know that height and total length of that slip gauges. So various places we have to use it. This is that known and standard dimensions. So these are the big advantages, and also have to check that calibration of Vernier Caliper micrometer. This is the main advantages of slip gauge. Ranging is needed to avoid errors due to misalignment or a gap between two slips. So this that ranging facilities things is there available. So you have to gap not possible have to produce. So otherwise any gap, any air gap not joined properly together, we not get that accurate value. What are the disadvantages? The cost of slip gauges is high, of course. So we get that good accuracy. The surface was very good. So have to take more care manufacturing, and then after that lapping process they are involved. So this is that nature of that work. It will be causes more. So deserve a high degree of accuracy and precision. So these are the reason behind that slip gauge is reduced. Next we discussed angle cage blocks. So angle cage blocks are like that slip gauges blocks. Here that 75 long and 16 wide. So differ from slip gauges in the sense that they are ranging surfaces. Here the slip gauges ranging surfaces are parallel, but here that angle cage blocks are not parallel to each other. So angle cages like measuring angles are more accurate than sine bar. So if we use to sine bar to measure that angle of the component, that time we have to depend surface plate, slip gauges, height gauges. So you have to confirm all the things are calibrated, all the things are due to that quality of accuracy. So sometimes you have to lose any one, we have not get that expected right value. So but here angle cages have to use, have to directly to get that angle of that particular objects. So this is that big advantages compared to that sine bar. Enables to measure any angle between 0 to 360. So here that master angle cages and tool room angle cages they are available. This is that angle cage blocks that are available in that box. Referred as a laboratory standard, they are most expensive. So of course, so based on that accuracy, the rate is more compared to that other one. So tool room less accurate compared to this one, and also to spend very limited amount how to compare to that master cages. This is the set of angle cages, set of 16 angle cages, set of 13 angle cages, various types of cage blocks that are available. Have to given that degrees, to given that minutes, have given to seconds to get that accurate value. So in this reason behind, they are manufacturers, they are given the various size of angle cage blocks. So here, one end of each angle block is marked plus, while opposite is marked minus. So here that's plus, here that minus. So you have to add it and subtract. You have to get that correct, right size of that angle cage blocks. There's so designed that they may be combined in plus or minus portion. So what's the conditions you have to need, so based on you have to choose. Example, if you want to 33, you have to add it with 30 plus 3. Here we have to 30 minus 3 degree, so we get the 27. So here that combined number of angle cage blocks they are added. So if you want to 42 degree 35 minutes 20 seconds, so you have to add it with 45 minus 3 plus 30 plus 5 plus 20. So finally you have to get two narrow ends together provide addition of individual cages, while narrow ends lies opposite to each other provide subtraction of angle. So depends that symbols they have to add or subtract from that angle cage blocks. Uses of angle cages. What is that? Quick measurement of angles between the two faces. So directly have to measure. So angle cages are more accurate than sine bars. Already have to discuss this sine bar. We follow that trigonometric formula. So this is not under that angle cage blocks. Procedure of setting angles with angle cages is less complex in the setting of angle with the sine bar. So this is that how have to keep in that position. So the right positions, wrong positions I have to mention here. So if you want to add it as subtractions, you have to follow this procedure. Have to combine that slip gauge blocks and to take or to get that angle of that particular components.